Boom. All right. And I think we're live. Uh I'm pretty sure we're live. Let me go to studio and take a look. Uh but yeah, I'm pretty sure we're live. Let me go here and click on this and make sure it shows us live. There we go. Yep. We're live. All right. Hi guys. And by guys, I mean nobody, because I'm not telling anybody I'm streaming. I'm just letting it ride and we'll see what comes of it. I need to go make sure that the printers are loaded and ready. There you go. There's the face. Let's see. Completed. There. That's ready to go. That one's ready to go. Completed. All right. Sure, somebody else is probably streaming tonight, so I'm probably streaming over someone more important who is doing something way more useful. You see that I show up live on my own subscriptions now. That's interesting. Am I under the right account? Let's see. Yeah, we only have the one account here. Yep, there we are. Okay, well. Hi. Close that. There we go. Oh, I just realized that none of my Stream Elements stuff will work because it was linked to when I had the account set up the other way. So none of my bot stuff will work. So we need to load this. Pull it over here so we can see better. Stream Elements. Which probably is going to mean I need to change a bunch of stuff in order for that to work properly. Awesome. Click here. Click here. Channel settings. We'll play with that outside of the stream. Clayton, what's going on, man? Good to see you. Aloha from Hawaii. Currently, my man, you are the only one here because I haven't told anyone that I'm streaming. I haven't streamed in a while. There's been a lot going on in my life. And some good that I can talk about, some bad that I'll talk about. And I guess just kind of fill people in as to what's been going on and where I've been and why I've been. More or less, I was just out here in the garage and figured I'd fire up a stream, and if anybody wants to know what's going on in my life, they could come hang out and we'll talk about it and kind of go from there. Da Vinci, good to see you, man. What's up, YouTube party people? Much love. Yes. So I guess I can announce some positive stuff. As of Wednesday of last week, so or of this last week, the 11th, I put in my letter of resignation at the school that I am currently working at. So I put in my letter of resignation. My last day there will be June 30th. In the states here with schools, their fiscal year is July 1st to June 30th. So to work out the rest of this school year, June 30th will be my last day at my current at the current school that I've been at for a decade, 10 years at that school, and I am putting in my letter of resignation, and I will be going to a new school closer to home and with or for more money. Not much. It's a very small raise, but I will be closer to home, um, and I will start there July 1st. So I will be doing the same thing I'm doing. It will be instead of being a pre-K through 12 district all under one roof, I will be going to a pre-K through 12 district with 3 buildings. So I will have 3 buildings that I will oversee, and that'll start July 1st. So there is that. There's a positive thing. If any of you have found my personal account on Facebook, you know that back in January I bit the bullet and I went to a buy here, pay here and got a newer car. So I had bought my wife a car with the um, money from my dad's passing. I bought my wife a newer car. And then in January, I bought a newer car for myself, but it is a higher interest, and um, it is something. It is what we had to do. I needed a solid vehicle to go on gas to get back and forth to work. So it's what we needed to do, and it's what we did. Um, so I got a newer car back in January. Um, let's see. I the this last week has been kind of hard. As many of you know, I have a 14-year-old daughter who is very much a handful, um, and we had to check her into a facility to get some help. Uh, it was not her making threats on her life. It's not that crazy, but there was some um, issues with maybe some anger management and um, things like that. So she's been checked into a facility since Tuesday, and if things go well, she should be coming home in about 3 days. Howie, good to see you, man. But yeah, so she should hopefully be coming home in about 3 days. I'll have to uh, go up and get her and bring her home. So we're hoping that this time there is working well and that things continue to go well, and then I'll be picking her up on Wednesday. Um, so there's that. Some other things to kind of fall back towards the first part of the message. So Howie, since you had just getting here, I put in my letter of resignation from my employer back on the was it on Wednesday. So I will be leaving there June 30th. I will be starting a new school on July 1st. And this coming Tuesday, I will have the board meeting at the current school that I work at to go and kind of talk with the board and thank them for the years, the decade of um, support and allowing me to kind of help do the things I've done for the school and the support that they've given me in doing so. And then Wednesday, like I said, if all goes well, Wednesday I'll be picking up my daughter and bringing her home. And then Wednesday evening, I have the board meeting at the new school where they will finalize everything, and I will get to meet with the board members and any staff that'll be there, and get to introduce myself to them. So I'm excited for that. Um, but as I stated kind of as you were coming in, Howie, there's been some issues with my youngest daughter, and she has been in a facility since Tuesday, um, getting the help she needs, and hopefully they will be able to uh, help her better be able to regulate some of the um, anger and other things that she is battling with, so that we can have our happy girl back. So it's been a lot just going on in my personal life, and it's made it to the point where I have um, honestly thought about retiring out the channel, um, and then just kind of being my own, just using my own personal channel, and retiring out the channel and letting this chapter in my life close, and then just kind of being me and not being a branded me, just being, Dan. And then when you see Dan show up in your chats and stuff on your streams and in your videos, you would know it's me. Um, just because it is hard to, with a lot of the stuff that's going on in my personal life, it's really hard to set aside the time to devote to giving you guys any kind of content at all. So part of me wants to hang on to this, and you know but I know that in the world of YouTube, the longer something sits dormant, the more likely it is to um, lose its followers and everything. And I I do have monetization on this channel, um, so that would mean that in the future, if I did want to do something, I would have to start over again. And not that monetization is a big thing, because there's usually it usually takes about 3 months to acquire um, the adequate amount of funds to get a payout from YouTube for me. So it's usually a 2 to 3 month wait, and then I get uh, a YouTube payout. So it's not like it's there's a lot of money coming in. Um, most live streamers, not all, but most live streamers don't really make a lot of money unless you have a large following. Um, I don't make enough money to quit working altogether and do this full time, but I also don't live stream 5 days a week for a few hours a night to make it worth everyone's um, investment in the channel. Uh, Plus, I don't really provide the most information. I don't really. I'm more of a talker than I am a informer. So yeah. Howie, thank you, man. Yeah, there's again there's 7 kiddos, and currently 1 grandbaby. So I will tell you guys that um, my wife and I have an opportunity, or had an opportunity. We took it, we seized it. This is something we're hoping make uh, will make help kind of build the family, kind of bring things back together with the family. Um, there's a place near me. Feel free to look it up. I mean, most of you know that the internet, you can find anything if you really want. I'm not really hiding where I live. I live in Podunk Nowhere, Illinois. Um, but there's a place very near me called Fish and Fun. It's in the town of McNabb. It is a like a members only type thing. Um, the fee for it is very inexpensive just to become a part of it. But there is, like most places, there is some requirements. Like you have to work a few different things. There's a cleanup day out at the facility, so you have to go out and spend a day helping kind of clean up around the property. There's also they do a pancake and sausage breakfast in August every year, and you have to work that as well as sell some tickets. There's some raffle tickets, and then there's some like come and eat tickets. Hey, Digital Dragon, what's going on, Luke? Good to see you. Guy, good to see you, man. But there's in order to get in, it's you basically have to buy out or be gifted a membership from a current member. I have a buddy of mine that is leaving them, and his membership came available. So my wife and I jumped on the opportunity to get that. To give you guys a heads up, like I said, you guys know my financial state ain't the greatest, but sometimes you got to do for your family. And I'm hoping that having access to the lake, the 3 swimming pools, the playground area, and being able to spend pretty much spring, summer, and fall out there with the family, with the kids, the grandchild, hanging out in the pool and at the lake, doing some fishing or whatever we want to do. I mean, the facility is ours after our acceptance in, which um, we have to pay the $25 transfer fee. And then to give you guys an idea, like yearly, it's $475 for a year. $475. That's it. And then you have access to the lake, the pools. There's a pavilion area where you can have like parties and things like that. So um, that's all pretty cool. And I think better to live in debt than regret when it comes to that situation. So we are making that a thing as of March. As long as they don't reject us in March, we will be members at this lovely little place. If you look up Fish and Fun McNabb, MCNABB, McNabb. If you look up Fish and Fun McNabb, you can kind of get an idea of where it's at and what it looks like and why we would do that. We're not that far from it, and we want, my wife and I want something to kind of help bring the kids back and want to spend time with them. So we're hoping that this will work, and then we'll get some more time with the kids and the grandbaby and play in the pools and, like I said, go fishing in the lake. And we've got friends with memberships out there, so maybe that means we'll get out and spend more time with people that we don't necessarily see as much because they're there during the nice weather and we're not. So, but um, again, Luke, since you just popped in, good sir, I'll fill you in on a few things real quick, cliff notes, because these guys have already heard it once or twice. I put in my letter of resignation at the current school that I've been at for a decade. June 30th will be my last day with them, and then July 1st I will start a new school. The new school is closer to home. It is actually 3 facilities, so there'll be 3 schools that I'll be looking over, or that'll be my responsibility. I will be the one and only tech guy for the 3 facilities, so that'll be on me. You're only an hour away, Howie. Well, maybe once we get in and get established with them, we can set something up, man. Do a little meetup out there. I know that as a member, to bring families out, it is $5 a family. Now, where the hell can any of you go for $5 with your family and have 3 different size swimming pools, a playground area, and a lake available to you for you and your family to enjoy? The only stipulation is you got to put up with me if I'm there. Like, where? You know what I mean? Like it doesn't happen. So this is a good thing. And as the weather gets nice and things start to happen, who knows? Maybe I'll start putting little invites out there. If you guys want to come out, we can set up days where you guys will be able to like come down and hang out with me and the wife and the kids, and the wives and the kids can go do whatever, and we guys can do nerdy geek things, and you guys can come out under my membership. So don't just go out there and say that you're a friend of mine, please, because I have to be present for you to be there. So don't just go out there and tell people you're my friend and I said you could come out, because that's not what I'm going to be saying. But definitely, Howie, if when the weather gets nice and we get established in there, and because we still have to wait, we haven't gotten the okay that we are actually approved yet, so we have to go to the meeting. It's in like 2 weeks. We'll have to go to the meeting, and that's when they'll either approve us or deny us and tell us if they don't why, and then the membership becomes ours, and like I said, then we can start having friends come hang out. Probably going to want to wait till the weather gets nice and the pools are open though, so probably going to want to wait a little while. There's not much to do out there now since the pools are closed. The playground area is very small. Most of the time it's people in the pool or hanging out at the lake. So, but no, Digital Dragon, I put in my letter of resignation. I'll be starting a new school. My youngest daughter, we've had some issues with her. She's currently in a hospital in the Chicagoland area, getting some much needed assistance, some help. And if all goes well, she'll be getting discharged on the 18th, and then I'll be able to pick her up and bring her home. So the good times, nice. Yeah. So it is basically kind of like a kind of a daily thing for us because we live there. So we don't have like an RV or a camper or nothing, no mobile home. There are homes out there. We just would be get up in the morning, go out there for the day and spend the day out there and then come home in the evening. So if you were planning it, just be planning to like come hang out for a day. And if you wanted to, you get a hotel room nearby. But we'll figure those kinds of things out with, my friends and whatnot. I'm sure I'll have uh, family that'll want to do this and go there too. So we'll have to bring, extended family. And Mhm. But yeah, Howie, you're not that far from me, bud. You're aren't you like Rockford area, or you're north of me, right? Up in the like the Rockford Burbs area. So, but yeah, Dan's had a lot going on in his personal life, and it's made it very hard for me. This is actually the first time I've been out here in the garage in probably 2-3 weeks. Uh, Whenever the last time I streamed was, I think beginning of January, so maybe over a month. So in over a month, this is like the first time I've actually been out here. Oh, Bloomington area. Okay. Yeah, you're down in the Bloomington area. So yeah, for you, man, it's not that hard. You just take 39 up and then get off at the 18, get off at 18 there, and then just head to the lovely little town of Magnolia, and then head north up 89. Yep. Yep, yep, yep. So yeah, I mean, it wouldn't be bad, man. Maybe, like I said, maybe we can work something out. You come up, hang out for a day once we get it. But this is one of those situations where, like I've told you guys, it's better to live in debt than regret. Um, so hopefully this will be a nice thing for the family, and that's the big kicker there is like better to live in debt than regret. And if we let the opportunity slip past, we could potentially regret it because who knows how long it would be before another opportunity like that would come. Because like I said, it's the only way to get a membership is to find somebody selling theirs and then take over their membership. So we, like I said, we definitely gonna do that. Exactly, brother. Exactly. Have it. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Um, but yeah, guys, I've been even with the good news of the opportunity to have a place to take the family and the new job. Um, Still kind of battling through, not just the stuff with my daughter, but some other things I'm just trying to work through. And I kind of been down in the dumps. And it's not tonight's stream is not really a Dan's doing anything informative. It's more of a I'm just informing because I don't want you guys to think that, you know, what happened is he completely disappeared. No, I haven't completely disappeared. Occasionally you'll see me in somebody's stream um, when I pull out the phone and I'm sitting there on the couch, and I'll pull out my phone and chat. Or like in the case of you know, Alex, when Projects and Dad's Garage is streaming, I'm usually at work when he's streaming, so I'll load it up on the screen and chat with you guys if I can. But yeah, I don't really know how long I'm going to stream and what we're going to talk about, but feel free to talk about stuff, bring stuff up. I know my loving wife and I are having a million problems, and money is always one of them. So I guess if you feeling it, PayPal, Cash App, Venmo are down there. Feel free to send anything. We got phone bills that are due and some other random shit, but I can't tell you that I'm spending money to get a membership to a place and then be tugging at your heartstrings to help me pay bills. That's just stupid, I know. But if you feel like it, feel free. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna be down in the dumps about my choices. You know what I mean? Like, these are choices I'm making, so I deal with the repercussions. I gotta print that file. Shit. That's what one of the things I was gonna do while I was out here. I have a coworker that asked me to print her a Bath and Body Works chicken soap holder thing that was on Maker World. So gotta look that up. But yeah, so gosh darn it. Sorry, gang. I'm just trying to go find that link to that file that I need to print for her. There we go. That's the model. Then click and copy. Close that. But yeah, when it comes down to it right now, spending a decade working for a place, and then some things changed, and when they changed, um, it was definitely the kind of the push I needed to it's kind of the push I needed to take the job offer when it came up. So there was like I said, there was a job offer to be closer to home, make more money, and do the same thing, and get to work with some good friends. Fellow coworker from the current school that I'm at. He went there as as a principal of one of the schools, and so when the opportunity came, and it didn't hurt that the former superintendent of the school that I'm at also was able to kind of like help me out with a letter of recommendation, and he knows the superintendent there too, so he was able to kind of tell him my work and what I've done and stuff. So those things kind of helped out. You were in a place 10 years, best thing you ever did in your career was the closing. How bad they were treating us. Yep. I already the reception that I'm getting, and like I said, I'm still not even technically an employee there until um, July 1st, but like like anyone I've spoken to there is real quick to respond. Usually get back to me within no time. Can't really say the same for yeah, Chamois got the filament in them that I need. Can't say the same at my current place. Hen on nest, hen on, oh, Soft soap, hen on nest. I think that's the one I needed, was the soft soap. Maybe, or is it the other one? Let me load them both here real quick and take a look at these guys. Give me just a second. No, I think it is this one. So we'll, yeah, yeah, we gotta not that one. Delete. Delete. Click here. Sorry guys, just get this thing centered real quick. Arrange. There we go. All right. And then put some supports around it and send it off. Boom. Tree support on the build plate only, and everywhere strength 3, 3, and 3, or 3, 3, 5, and 3. And I think 3, 5, and 3 will be fine. Slice the build plate. Let's see how long it's going to take. Yeah, I have to say that was, for me, that was kind of like the nice thing when I went in for the interview. Um, I was very kind of relaxed and just kind of, I wasn't going in there all like on edge and worried when I went in for the interview. I basically just said, hey guys, here's the deal. I went in jeans and a hoodie. I wasn't dressed up in, slacks and a button up and a tie. Um, I told them, I said, I do apologize. I would apologize for my appearance, but I dress for work. And the way I see it, you're paying me to do a job. Why should we pay outside companies to do it? If I have the skills, I'm going to do it. So climbing around in attic spaces, up in the rafters in the dirt and dust, climbing around under desks, pulling cables, moving cables, changing cables, doing all these kinds of things are dirty work. And I don't see the point in outsourcing any of that. If I am capable of doing it, I am going to do it. We're not going to be, I'm not going to be in here dressed in my best and then getting it dirty every day because I'm climbing around doing stuff. I'm going to dress for the job that I am going to do. And they were very understanding about that. And it was just a group of guys sitting around talking. They were asking me questions about, in this situation, how would you handle this? In this situation, how would you handle this? If you were setting up this, how would you set this up? And it was just boom, 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 firing off answers. By the end of it, it was handshakes and smiles. And when I walked out the door, I was about 99% sure that the job was mine. Viking, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. But I was like 99% sure that the job was mine. And then that was at 4 p.m. And then by 8:30 a.m., I had gotten the call that they were offering me the job. So I definitely was happy. And then, like I said, it was the waiting game afterwards, waiting for contracts to be signed and stuff. And I had finally received the contract here on Tuesday. But as I'd stated earlier, Tuesday we were doing some stuff with my daughter and getting her situated. And after that, I got the contract printed off and signed and returned. And then Wednesday, I put in my letter of resignation once I received the contract signed and confirmed, or that they had confirmed that they had received the contract. Then I went in that Wednesday and put in my letter of resignation, letting them know that June 30th will be my last day with them, and then July 1st I'll be starting the new school. And then, like I said, just for the formality sake, I have a board meeting Tuesday night to say goodbye and a board meeting Wednesday night to say hello. And if all goes well, like I said, my daughter should be getting released on Wednesday. So I'll have a 2-hour drive up to Chicago to pick her up, bring her home, get her back with her mother and situated. And then it will be um, go to my board meeting that evening, uh, say hello to the new staff that I'll be, or the new board members that I'll be working for in July. So there's the big positive that came out of the last 2 weeks is the job situation is now finalized and I can talk a little more openly about it. I'll be once they make the announcement on once the school site makes the public announcement that I have joined them, then you'll probably see a repost on my Facebook if you're a friend of mine there. Because it is a personal thing. It is on my personal Facebook. But just understand that if I don't follow you on my personal Facebook, it's not because I don't love you. It's probably because you haven't sent me an invite. So, yeah, it's probably because you haven't sent me an invite. Speaking of projects in Dad's Garage earlier, there he is. What's going on, man? Jack, good to see you as well. Yeah. But gang, like I said, my life has been some uphills, downhills, and even though the uphills are pretty big, the downhills seem to be steeper and take longer to get to the bottom of. So we're getting through day by day. But you know, like I said, the last time I was out here in the garage was the last time I streamed, so I haven't been out here in over a month. So I mean, I've come out, I've started a print for somebody, and then I've walked out of the garage and then came back a day or two later and got the print and then took it to them. But yeah, there's thank you, Viking. Thank you, man. But yeah, it's been rough. Coming into 26, I was hopes and dreams of better things, and as 26 has kind of rolled on, like I said, the negatives are outweighing the positives right now, and I know I'm pretty good about always saying look for the positive, or find the positive, stop looking for the negative. So I'm finding the positives, but sadly they're just not outweighing the negatives. And I don't know if that fan is too loud in the background. Apologies, but gotta love Centauri carbons. They make some noise. Um, but yeah, gang. Like I said, I've got to go. Um, let's see here. Hold on. Okay, there's nothing there. Like I say though, I got a lot going on, and it's mostly me issues. So no, it's nothing against you guys, and I get it. And like I said, I've been back and forth about retiring the channel and just kind of going back to being just Dan and not having Maker My Nexus and being under some kind of a brand, just being Dan. Because I don't know that, I don't know what life holds. The channel, like I said, it is monetized. I would hate to, um, delete the channel and just be Dan and just do stuff as Dan. And then one day decide I want to get back into doing this. So it's one of those, is it, because the longer the channel lays dormant, the more people start unsubscribing to the channel. And then the channel just falls off anyway. And then when you start streaming again, maybe it would be best to just, if I decided down the road to do something, to just rebuild anew rather than try to bring back the old. So it's a hard thing to kind of sit down and realize that, like, when your personal life and a lot of things going on in your personal life kind of put you there. I am the channel anyway. Yeah. I had hopes for this channel at one point where there would be other people involved with Maker My Nexus, and it would be like, you know, uh, like we could share the channel, share the idea, and then like with the rebuilding old printers and giving them away, when people had a printer project they were working on, they could stream rebuilding that printer on this channel, and the money coming into the channel would kind of go to help get stuff to keep buying and rebuilding printers for people and helping people out. Um, but the channel doesn't make enough money because we don't have enough projects to keep the interest. And like I said, the channel only pays out about once every 2-3 months. The channel pays out that $100 payout. So it usually takes 2 to 3 months to make enough. And the memberships are dying off. And I understand that too, because why would somebody want to pay $3 a month for a guy who maybe streams once a month anymore? And when he does stream, he's not sharing anything truly useful. He's just babbling about his life. I can do this under my own YouTube channel and not be locked into some sort of an idea that this is what you're going to get when you come here. It can just be Dan and I just stream about me, and then this way, I could maybe not necessarily like delete the channel, but delete the live streams and just leave the content that's there. And just let the content do its thing. And then maybe occasionally, if I do have something that's worthwhile, I can, um, post a quick video on it here, and then just use my other channel, my personal YouTube, to just kind of keep in touch with everybody and watch streams and stuff from that. I don't know. Like I said, it's the weird what path do I go down? There's so many different options, so many different things, but can go whatever direction you and your life take it. Yeah, I just because like it is kind of it's just Maker Mind Nexus. It's not you know it's not 3D printing rehab, or it's not um, it's not something that when you come here you expect maybe necessarily that, but at the same time, I have a maker mind. I like to make things. I like to build stuff. I like to do things, but I don't always talk about those things. So I don't know. I really just don't know. I could always just shorten it up and just make it MMN Dan. You know, but it's just that thing. I don't know what path is the right path. And I can tell you guys honestly, without a doubt, that there's a really good chance that over the summer I'm not going to be streaming much because, as most of you heard earlier, and for those who didn't, um, you guys, first off, I know I'm always having money troubles and I'm always asking for help. And if you can, the links are down there. Feel free to do so. But before you click on the links and go to give me money, hear what I did or what my wife and I are doing right now before you go and do that. Because I don't want you to think that I'm asking for a handout and then I tell you afterwards that we made what most would consider maybe a poor financial decision. But there is a place near us called Fish and Fun, and it is a members only place. You have to pay a membership to be a part of it. You have some rules and regulations and things you have to follow, and in doing so you gain access to 3 swimming pools. You gain access to a lake that you can fish and hang out by. They have a pavilion area where you can have parties, host parties and things, playground area for the kids to play. And because all of our kids are getting older and have been moving out and doing their own things, my wife and I wanted a reason for us to all be able to come back together. And what better way than to say, hey, this weekend we're going to be out at Fish and Fun. Bring the grandbaby. You guys come out. Bring your girlfriends. Let's all go, play in the pool. We'll do some cooking out at the grill. We'll hang out for the day. So having a place for us to all meet to do something fun and it's outdoors, and it's going to be a nice thing. There is obviously a fee involved, and you can't just join. Like I said, you have to get a membership, and the only way to get a membership is to know someone who is selling their membership. And we did that. We took advantage of the situation or the opportunity. So in this situation, better to live in debt than regret, and we are making the financial decision to do this. Again, it is to get in, it's a $25 transfer fee and $475 a year. That's it. As long as you do the work that is required, it's only going to cost you $475 for the year for access to the swimming pools, the lake, and basically the grounds, the property you are allowed on. We can bring friends and family to this place. Individuals are a $2 fee, couples are a $4 fee, and entire families are a $5 fee. So once we get in and we get established and everything is approved, if you guys are wanting something to do for a weekend, maybe we can work something out. You guys can come to the area. There's hotels about 25 minutes away. There's some hotels available. You could stay at a hotel, and then we can go out. You could meet us out there. We could hang out for the day. I said, you bring your family, it's only $5. Where can you go to hang out with your family for a day for $5? So maybe we can, do things like that, help bring in outside folks to check out the place and have some fun. I don't know if it's going to be a thing we can do, but we're going to find out, and I'll let you guys know once everything is finalized. But for me, my wife, my kids, it's going to be something that when I was a kid growing up, I had an aunt and an uncle that had a home there. And every summer for about a week, my brother and I would go out there and stay with my aunt and uncle, and we would get up in the morning, have breakfast, go to the pool, swim in the pool till lunchtime, come home, eat, or come back to my aunt and uncle's house. We would have lunch and then go back to the pool, swim in the pool all day, come back home, have dinner, and then depending on when dinner was and how things were going, we would either come home, eat dinner, and then go back to the pool for a little bit, and then come home, and then pass out, get up, do it all over again, or have dinner and then just hang out at my aunt and uncle's house out in the garage, hanging out with the other kids from the area, just talking and BSing and just being kids. And that's how my brother and I spent our childhood growing up, was out at Fish and Fun. So to now be able to have that, and sadly not have had that when my kids were younger, but at least have it now. So hopefully it becomes a thing. And if it doesn't, and it doesn't work out, and it's just not what we hope for, well, in a year we sell the membership off and it becomes somebody else's, and they can be theirs. So we're going to make the choice to do that this year and see how things go. But Bearded Bucket, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. It has been a while. My last stream was at the beginning of January, so yeah, it's definitely been a while. Like I was telling everybody, I don't know that I'll be streaming much at all, and then definitely over the summer, probably not at all. I'll be hopefully spending a lot of time with my family over the summer, and kind of being able to build those family bonds, and because of stuff like that, my just stuff we're working through in our personal lives and the family. I don't know, between now and then what kind of streaming I'll be doing. So there's been, I was talking earlier about the fate of MakerMind Nexus and where it's going to go and what I'm going to do. And right now, I don't know. I don't know. Because like, I love you guys. You're all friends. You're all family. And I would love to spend more time with you. But, I kind of want and need that time with my family as well. My kids, my grandbaby. There's all that stuff that I want some more time with them. So that's why I'm spending, roughly $500 in the next 3 weeks so that we can have this. Like I said, if you can and you want to throw money my way to help out with things like phone bill, internet, things like that, feel free. Send it on. I won't say no, but please know that I am making a poor financial decision according to some people, but most of you who have families understand that family is important. And that's why I'm going to be doing what I'm doing. And I say over the next few weeks, because paydays have to come so I can take that payday money and do that with my payday money. So really tears up your body, Mike. Yeah, it is almost 60 degrees here today. Or yeah, it is currently 60 degrees. It says it's near record high today. So there's that. I know that every year around this time I tell you guys I have issues with my power bill. I still am having issues with my power bill, paying it. If anybody's got $1,200 laying around, you want to help me pay my power bill, send that on. I should probably be paying the power bill, but again, payday will get here on the 20th and I will pay that power bill. But there is a disconnect in place right now that could potentially shut my power off between the 18th and the 20th. And I don't know that they won't. So I'm going to try and hope that there's a place nearby that can help me out tomorrow, because today is Sunday and there's no way they can help me today. But hopefully I can go tomorrow. It is, President's Day, so I don't know that they'll be open, but I got to call them in the morning. If they're open, I will get in there with my disconnect notice and see if there's something they can do to help me. And if they can, great. And if they can't, well, we'll just cross our fingers that the 18th comes and goes, the 19th comes and goes, and then on the 20th when I get paid, it's usually the night of the 19th I get paid, I can send them that money and then it'll not disconnect. But like I said, these are all me issues. These aren't your problems. And if you can help, greatly appreciate it. If you can't, understood. And if you don't want to because I'm being a dipshit with my money, or you think I'm being a dipshit with my money, I understand that. I'm not going to sit here and try and play, devil's advocate into something. It's quite simple. This is what I want to do for my family. I don't have the money right now to pay anything anyway. So right now it's all talk, but yeah. I don't even know why I'm whining about money, because that's all it seems to be when I stream anymore, is I'm whining about money. And I do apologize that it seems like I stream just to beg for handouts. So that's why, again, I don't even know why you guys even really come hang out here, because I know there's probably nobody streaming right now, but once somebody fires up a stream, go there. They will bring you knowledge and information, and you guys won't have to listen to my ongoing downhill. I need to open my door. It's getting hot in here because the heater's been doing its thing, and like I said, it's 60 degrees outside, so we might as well open the door and let some of that wonderful 60-degree air come in. Let me turn this down again. Just turn it off for now. Turn it off. So there we go. Well, Viking, thank you, brother. I know that a lot of you guys are here because you do support me. You support me, you support my family, and I very much so appreciate that. But if anybody's coming to here looking for knowledge and wisdom and information, I have not been able to share that. My mind's not in the sit down, fire up a stream, and let's have a Q&A. I really, wholeheartedly, seriously, I have been wanting to get the Protect the Elderly channel up and running and start posting about scams and stuff that are going on. And I have tried locally to reach out to facilities and places to talk to the elderly there, and no one is getting back to me. I don't understand it. I don't understand why having a guy come in and talk to your crowds, your patients, your residents about how these scams work and what they do. I don't understand why people don't want somebody to come help. Because sometimes outside people telling you about this stuff sinks in better than listening to friends and family. So, and I'm not charging. I tell them, I'm not going to charge for this. I will come and I will speak to your residents, the people in your facility, for free. No money to you. I want $0 to be spent. If people choose to make a donation because they felt like they got useful information from it, then that is fine. We'll take that money. It'll go in my gas tank for the travels. Um, but I am not asking for money. I will not be there saying, give me money. I want money. I want to spread the knowledge that I have to help protect people from potentially being scammed. And that is all I want to do. I for free want to go to these retirement homes and senior centers, and I want to talk to them and tell them they're going to do this. Truly, like, here's a statistic for you guys on how these scammers get people. A large portion of the people who are getting scammed are widows who widows whose families are not as active in their lives as they could be, should be. Let me back that up a little bit. Hold on. Sorry, I got it right here. But they are widows whose don't really spend much time or see their children, grandchildren very much. The reason for that being is because they have that nurturing, caring thing going on very strongly, and they don't have someone to give that to. So they are being targeted because of that. They are easier to manipulate. So when they use the tactic of, oh no, my family, I'm going to get fired, my family is going to have to do without, how am I ever going to? And then these women feel very strongly they need to help. So they are willing to overlook what's being said to them to just help. They just want to help. And it's not their fault. It's just the way these scammers work. They play on or tug on the heartstrings to get these women to give up their money. And these ignorant bastards sit back, take these women's money, which could be all that's left in the nest egg from their passing husband. When their husband passed away, this could be all the money he left them, and they could be taking that. And then she's got absolutely nothing, and now she has to rely on her family to help her because that money will never get back to her. That is how these things work for the most part. Like, those are that's like the biggest one. The other one is, again, elderly men lose their money because cute young girl flirting with you on the phone, and you want to impress her, you want to look good to her, so you're willing to do what she's asking of you. So that's why elderly are mostly targeted. And it sounds bad, but it is true, Here for a sec before you take the kids to school. Down Under Maker, good to see you, man. I hope you're doing well. We're talking about the other project I've been trying to kind of get up and going there, the Protect the Elderly. Down Under Maker, if nobody hits the like button tonight, it's fine. I understand it. I'm just talking and kind of filling people in as to what's going on in my life, and it's downhills, uphills, it's all over the place. I'm not really like crazy, like I'm printing one thing right now and I'm just having a chat. It's not anything useful coming out of me right now. So I understand if not. But if anybody wants to hit the like button, like Down Under Maker said, it's down there. Hit that like button for me. Yeah, Bearded Bucket, like, for anybody who kind of maybe had missed it or hasn't seen, I live in a small little podunk town in Illinois, south of 80 and west of 39. So it's cornfields, bean fields. It's not big skyscrapers and heavy infrastructure. And there's a gas station in my town that has one of those crypto ATMs. And 3 times I have caught a elderly woman being scammed at that crypto machine. The first woman, I was able to scare her enough that she stopped putting money in, but sadly she had put about $2,000 into the machine before she got, uncertain and left. The second lady, I basically was telling her it's a scam, it's a scam, it's a scam. And she went out to her car because she was still on the phone with them. She went out to her car, and I called the chief of police, and he came in and talked to her, talked to the scammer, told her it was a scam, and then I left at that point and let the police officer handle it from there. And then the third time, the woman kept telling me she knows what she's doing. She knows what crypto is. It was like 12 degrees out, and she was in a sweatshirt, jeans, and no shoes. This piece of shit scammer scared her out of her home into her car with no shoes on, no coat on, 12 degrees, and convinced her to go to the gas station to use the ATM to pay this debt. And I tried and tried and tried, and she kept telling me, I know what I'm doing, leave me alone, mind your business. And I was like, okay. So I was only able to stop, like truly stop one of the three from being scammed. And I would rather use my knowledge, my skills to tell everyone in my area that this is the scammers, this is how they work, this is how they operate. Please ignore them. When they call you, you don't owe a debt. And if you did owe a debt, you'd receive something in the mail with different ways to pay for it. And the different ways to pay for it would be cash, check, or charge. Nothing else. You're not going to be paying a debt with gift cards to Applebee's or Apple, or you're going to pay with gift cards, period. And you're not going to be paying in cryptocurrency because cryptocurrency is volatile. They don't want volatile. They want guaranteed when you're paying a debt. They want that they are getting guaranteed payment. So you tie them up for ages and talk in circles. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's better for me to talk to them and waste their time than it is to allow them to actually scam an elderly woman. And if I can't spend time driving them nuts and getting them off the phone, the least I can do is stop those who are already on the phone if I see it happening. And that's what I've been trying to do. I really wish that like places that had those machines would have a sign on them that says that if someone is telling you to use this machine to pay a debt, that is a scam, please hang up. These machines are for cryptocurrency purchases only, not to be used to pay a debt. But they won't do that because then sadly they lose out on their cut that they get from each transaction. And that's another bullshit thing because as far as I'm concerned, you have a responsibility to your public to protect your public when you are a business in that public. You have a job. Your job is to provide a service and protect your public. And if you don't see it that way, you shouldn't be running a business. Because if you're going to have something in there that's got sketchy things going on and you don't have some kind of a warning on that, that's bad on you too. And I do think that the authorities should start going after places that don't put at least some kind of a warning on those units that says that if you are being told to use this unit to pay a debt, that it is most likely a scam and to hang up on them and request that they send you, the information in writing with the debt, why the debt, and how much the debt is, along with a proper form of payment for said debt. I also had thought about talking to some like House representatives, but in my state that won't happen because that would be them having to admit that they don't like money. And in my state, they love taking your money. So kind of wouldn't work here. At least I don't think it would. I could try a little harder and start talking to these state representatives that if these machines are going to be being used in our state, that these machines have to have a sign on them that says that by law they have to have it. And choosing not to do that would, get you a big ass fine and potentially get your business closed down because you are not protecting the public you are serving. Yep. Red Vox, you are correct, sir. By the way, Kit, how are you, man? Good to see you. But that's kind of why, like I said, I think I need to start streaming more over on the Protect the Elderly channel. I think it should be set up now where I can stream to it. If you guys haven't followed it, if you could give me a follow there, just kind of help with the numbers a little bit. Give me a second. I'll grab you guys the link to the YouTube channel. It's actually real easy. It's Protect the Elderly, or at Protect the Elderly on YouTube. Yeah, if you guys aren't following the channel, I only have 25 subscribers and there are 6 videos up. They are mostly shorts, just explaining. Some of them do have some vulgar language. I know, hard to believe, right? That I would say dirty words because I get upset, but some of the videos do have words, choice words in there because I am truly worked up at that point in time when I'm talking about it. So, but I think I need to start putting some more videos out there on that channel explaining, you know, how a little bit about how these scams work and who they're targeting. Kind of like I was talking with you guys here earlier about how, you know, elderly widows tend to be the most targeted because they do have a nest egg left over from their loved one who has passed, and they don't get as much family interaction. So the nurturing, caring part of them doesn't have the ability to get out with their family. And when these scammers call, they call and tug at those heartstrings, and then that nurturing, caring part side takes over, and that's when they want to just help, even if it means giving away their entire nest egg because they can't see how the scammer is playing them. So I think that that'll probably be something that I either make a YouTube short on for the channel, just explaining that, or I'll sit down and record like a 10 or 15-minute video. Probably best to do shorts because the attention span of most people these days is 3 minutes. So I'll probably end up recording a short explaining that, you know, if you fall into the, you know, elderly, if you are an elderly woman who is also, you know, is a widow, and you have, this is why you're being targeted. And then, like I said, elderly men who do not have a wife anymore. She has since passed as well. I believe they're also called widows. But either way, if you are a female who has lost your spouse and you are elderly, they're targeting you for this reason. If you are a male who has lost their spouse and you are elderly, they're targeting you for this reason. Because in most cases, they will use women to target males, and they will use males to target females. So if they're targeting males, they will try to use a elderly woman. If they get a much older man or woman who is senile, Alzheimer's, dementia, then they'll just try to play the games. There's also the new one where they're using AI to try, not new one, it's been around for a while, but they'll use AI to call in like a ransom threat, or say that they are, that a loved one was held up at border, at an airport or something like that, stating that the loved one was caught committing a crime and that you have to pay the whatever the holding fee is to get them out so that they can, you know, otherwise they're going to federal prison for committing a massive crime. First off, if the threat is a prison of any sort, you're not paying a fine. They're going to jail, they're going to court, and then you will pay after the court hearing. My other favorite thing is when they threaten that if you don't pay it right now, that they'll be issuing a warrant. No, they won't. The authorities will not be on their way. And do you want to know why? Because never, ever, ever will they warn you that they are going to come and arrest you. Because why would they want the authorities to be prepared, or you to be prepared for the authorities to arrive? They want to catch you off guard so that there is less chance of confrontation. They will never, ever, ever, like, they will never issue a warrant and tell you they're sending the police to your house if it's legitimate. It's a scare tactic. And sadly, elderly folks fall for that one all the time. The last time I got a phone call like that, I told them, send the authorities. I'll be sitting here smiling and happy, waiting patiently. Issue the warrant, send them to my house. I'll be waiting. And that's when I got called everything and anything under the sun and told that I was a piece of shit. And that's when I told them, you know, talking to a person like that when you're trying to get them to give you money is not really the best way to handle a situation. I find you get more flies with honey than you do with, you get more, what is it, bees with honey or something. I forget what the adage was at the time. This was a couple of years ago. But I told them, you know, I was like, you know, I find that you have better luck being nice, basically. See a lot of scams targeting Chinese students studying here in Australia, saying that family members have been detained. Yep, yep. That's what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm saying. Down Under Maker, they're saying that they're doing shit like that, trying to target, and it's bullshit, man. Yes, exactly, Kit. Exactly. They're not going to hit their quotas by cussing you out. But that's why, like I said, I think I need to start making some more videos over there and posting it up, just kind of explaining who's being targeted, why they're being targeted, and then kind of going into detail a little bit more on each one of the scams and how it works, and making those into 3-minute shorts, posting them up, and this way, you know, people can kind of look at those and maybe help spread them around a little bit. I what's the big Indian base call centers face lakes or ponds? Yeah. Ask them, meet me at the pond outside, or meet me at the pond for lunch. Yeah. Anyone has the potential. Yep. Yes, they do, bearded bug. And like I said, the protect the elderly isn't just for the elderly, but primarily to help protect them. It's for anyone. Um, and that's why I'm not. I like I said, I make the videos. Like the shorts are more or less either telling the story of what I've seen in my area recently, or just trying to explain to people a scam. It's not geared primarily at the elderly, even though the name does say so. Um, but it is geared to just kind of help protect people in general. So I am hoping that not just elderly, but maybe those who are ill-informed will also come and watch the content. But I think that's kind of what I need to do is I need to start making uh, more videos explaining the scams instead of talking about it. I should probably be doing it. But I am actually at the point now where uh, hoping in the next few weeks that I'll be able to start talking more like on the phone or face to face with some of these facilities. I'm thinking that this week I'm going to stop at my local library here in town and ask them if they would be okay with me hosting something one night and if they could kind of help spread the word out to, you know, the people coming in that this night at this time, if you're interested, it's a free thing. Come on in, sit down and listen, and he's going to kind of talk about the scams and how they work. And it'll be, I'll tell people, you know, hour of your night, because I don't know, you know, what kind of questions they'll ask and things like that. So it'd just be me standing there talking to them, just explaining to them, you know, how these things are going and how they work. So emails with a Google Street View to make you think that they know where you live. Yeah, they just pull it from public records. Yep. Yeah, and I mean, it's not that hard of a thing to do. Like I said, you can Google pretty much anyone and find their info. You know, I mean, a Google search and some digging through some links, and you'll start to find information on people. So it's not that hard to do. The best thing to do when you get a scam email, let me do something real quick here. Hold on. Let me look in my personal email at one of the lovely scams that comes through. Let me see something here. Like this one girl, her account got hacked. I know it did because I'm getting stuff with her name and then an email address that isn't legitimate. Ah, yes, the payment declined one. I'm going to kind of dox myself here. It's my personal email, so I'm going to kind of dox myself, but I want to show you guys what I'm talking about. So please don't email my personal email. Send it to makermynexus@gmail or Dan@makermynexus. But my personal email is not like some super secret. Oh, here, let me do this real quick. Let me click print screen. And then let me just kind of grab the important part. And then let me close this. I won't dox myself after all. It's not that hard to figure out my email, but let's not do that. Let's see here. Paint. Load up good old MS Paint. And then let's Control V and paste that in there. And let me move it over here to this screen. And I'll show you guys, when you look at the top of the email and you click the little down arrow and it shows you where it was sent from, this is how you know. Let me jump over here and go to the right screen. There we go. Can you guys see that pretty clearly right here? Can you guys see that all pretty clearly? I don't know. For me, it looks a little blurry, but if you look, it says that the payment was declined for my cloud storage. And if you look, the domain that it's coming from is, let's see here. Well, the domain that it's coming from is right here. That is obviously not a legitimate domain name for a company. And then it says that it's coming, it says that the example is exam-helpdesk.barcomedy.com/liverations.net, or live rations instead of live rations. And then it says that the reply to address is this here, which is uic.edu. So when you're looking at these scam emails and you're seeing these crazy domains, that's obviously not a legitimate company. And all it takes for you to find that is to just click the drop down arrow underneath where the email is. Like when you click at the top of the email, click the drop down arrow and you see all this information that points out or spells out that it's a scam. It's not coming from a legitimate domain name or a legitimate company. It's not coming from apple.com or iCloud.com, which are Apple domains. It's not coming from those. It's coming from this garbage, this gibberish right here. It is definitely not legitimate. So when people are seeing emails that look legit, that say that they're from a cloud-based storage or McAfee or Norton or whatever, first thing I tell people is if they say that there's a charge for $400 or $500 and some dollars, go look at your bank account or call your bank and ask them if there is actually a transaction either on your ledger or pending to go onto your ledger for that amount. The banks can tell you pending transactions coming in. Call the number on the back of the card and ask them, do you see this transaction? If they say no, it is obviously a scam. They're just trying to get you to pay that amount to them, even though you don't owe that amount. Yes, most people know they are spam, scams, fake. Yeah, but that 1% doesn't, and they will pay it. And I would like to get that 1% to stop paying it. I mean, if they want to do anything, they can make donations to me to, make it so my life is easier and I can spend more time sharing my knowledge. But it's not ever going to be required. I'll never ask for money for anything that I do. Let me rephrase it. I'll ask. I won't demand. I'll say, hey, if you got it and you want to send it, the links are down below. Feel free, but I'll never demand or put anything behind a paywall and make people pay for something. I'll never do that. I can't bring myself to make people pay for what I know. I learned it. I might as well share it. It's the best thing to do is if you know something, share something. Exactly, Bearded Bucket. Donations are appreciated, but are not required. So I did good, guys. I came on here thinking I'd probably talk for 10 minutes and then I'd hang up and let you guys get back to your day. But we've been going for an hour and 20-ish minutes. Something to that effect, right? Let's see here. Yeah. I am following the Maker Mind Nexus YouTube channel with the Protect the Elderly YouTube channel. I also follow Digital Dragon, Kit Boga, more Kit Boga, Jim Browning. Jim Browning is a good one to watch. Nanobator, Scammer Payback. And then a bunch of my YouTube friends. I may have followed you guys with that account just to kind of help push your numbers up a little bit. Help you guys out. You are correct, Viking. You are correct. I don't ever just talk for 10 minutes. And I'm pretty sure if I wrap this up and you're in your Discord, you'll probably see me pop in there for a little bit too. So, but I've got that thing of printing. It's got another 4 hours and 40 minutes to go till it's done. So hopefully it prints successfully. And then on Tuesday when I go into work, because we're off tomorrow for President's Day, but Tuesday when I go into work, I can go ahead and bring that with me and give that to the girl at work. Do you want to check something real quick here? Bear with me just a second, guys. Sorry, I hate dead air, but just want to log in and check something. It's yeah. Okay. Tomorrow, not the 18th. Tomorrow, my power bill is due tomorrow. So, but yeah. So. Gotta quit looking at that. Sorry, guys. Sorry. Yeah, I'll give you. I'll probably give you a jingle and kind of catch up on some stuff. But yeah, I think it's probably time to let you guys get on to other stuff, right? You guys have kind of heard what's going on and where my head's at a little bit. There's the Vikings Discord. I do see some folks in there. He's not in there right now, but I do see some folks in there. I did want to look at something else. I don't know what the hell I was going to look at, but I said I had to look at something, and then my ADHD sidetracked me, and I forgot what the hell I was doing. So, yep. All right. Well. Yeah, I am quite certain I do, good sir. I know we have. Yeah, I'm quite certain I do. I believe it was Murph that I got your number the 1 year. So. Oh, and 19 months and running. Hell yeah, brother. Thank you very much. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. I think. Let me go look at something real quick here then before we wrap this up, and let's see something here. See all members. And the only person ahead of you, good sir, is Lee Marie 3D. They are at 20 months. Then you at 19. And then, of course, Andrew Rogers at 17 months. Dave and Terry are at 15 months of supporting my dumb ass. And then Fabrico and XR Bunker Works are both at 11 months of supporting me. And Dan Adams is at 9 months. So those are my members. And there's a little shout out to you guys. So thank you for the support. All 7 of you. And how long you've been supporting me. So you'll fight Jeremy, but you wouldn't dare challenge Keela. Yeah. No, they have been supporting me for 20 months. 4 more months if I keep the channel going, 4 more months, there'll be 2 years, and then Bearded Bucket, you'll be shortly behind them, good sir. You are just right there nipping at their heels. So, but yeah, I don't know, is there anybody currently streaming, guys? Let me go back and take a peek here. I don't notice anybody in the makerspace that is currently streaming that I am currently following. It's not to say that there isn't somebody, maybe I'm just not following them, but you turned on the free trial for Tinker Atlas today? Sweet. Sweet, sweet, brother. Hell yeah. Let's close that. And let's see here. Tinker Atlas. Smells like my neighbor's got his grill going. I'm going to have a leftover pork chop from yesterday. My wife, I cooked her pork chops for dinner. Oh, shit. Yeah, my Tinker Atlas account is under a different area. So I signed into Tinker Atlas and it's signed up a new account, Viking. So you have a new account for me. So now I have 1.5 accounts. Yeah, I hope so, good sir. I hope so. But yeah, guys, remember tinkeratlas.com. Go check it out. Most of you guys or all of you guys are already there, but for anybody who watches this afterwards and stuck around this damn long, go check out tinkeratlas.com. Show my brother Viking some love. Help him support his project. It's a sweet little project. But that being said, guys, we're at that 1.5 hour mark. So I love you guys. Have a wonderful evening. Even though shit's getting me down, I'm still here. I'm still fighting. We're gonna get through this, and I'll talk to you guys all later. My usual spiel: stay out of trouble, stay out of jail, happy 3D printing, and all those things. And yeah, I make the mistakes so you don't have to. But yeah, I will. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. See you guys.